If you are the one who comes back home after your hectic 9 to 5 work mentally drained, physically exhausted, and desperate for a way to unwind that doesn't involve mindless scrolling, because you have got responsibilities, a family to take care for, maybe a side hustle you dream of starting. But by the end of the day, you are just too wiped out to do anything meaningful. But here's the harsh truth: if you keep numbing out with endless scrolling and passive distractions, you are not actually recharging. You are burning out faster. Your energy stays drained, your stress piles up, and worst of all, even your precious free time starts to feel like another chore. Now, if you don't change how you unwind, you'll keep ending your days feeling more exhausted, not less, leaving zero fuel for your dreams, your family, or even just yourself. But this video, it's your reset button, because I'm sharing 5 effortless, low energy ways to truly unwind after work. No willpower needed whatsoever. And these activities are cozy, stress reducing, and actually restorative. And here's the best part: you don't have to master them or even finish them in one go. So, if you're ready to stop ending your evenings drained and start enjoying your downtime, sit back, relax, and watch the video until the end. Now, before we dive in, let me tell you something about my daily routine. See, after working my 9 to 5, I'm usually running on fumes. And then comes the commute home, where I used to sit in train and then in traffic, exhausted with my brain stuck in work mode. I'd either blast some random radio station or worse, sit in total silence, which only made me feel more drained. But then I stumbled onto something that completely changed my after work energy: audiobooks and podcasts. Now, during my commute, instead of zoning out or stressing about the day, I hit play on podcast or an audiobook, and it's like a mental reset button. Whether it's motivational podcast, an inspiring success story, or just something funny. See, it shifts my focus away from work and actually helps me unwind before I even get home. Now, the reason I told you that story is because most of us waste these perfect reset moments in our day. We doom scroll, blast music that doesn't really inspire us, or sit in silence letting the stress from work linger. And you know what? That's why even after an hour of downtime, you still feel mentally fried, because your brain never got the break it actually needed. But audiobooks and podcasts actually fixed that for me, because they are like low effort, high reward entertainment, the kind that helps you relax and recharge without even trying. Now, during my commute, I find myself actually looking forward to that alone time. See, I laughed through podcasts, learned new skills, and even finished entire books, all while sitting in on a train and then in the traffic. And the beauty of it, you can do it anywhere: on your commute, while cooking dinner, or just lying on the couch. And you don't really need to pay attention the way you do with a show or a book. It's effortless. So tonight, instead of scrolling TikTok until your brain's mush, try popping on a podcast. It might just be the mental reset you didn't know you needed. Now, while audiobooks and podcasts are my go-to during my commute, there's one thing that really helps me shake off the stress of the day, and that's evening walks. Now, I'll be honest, after sitting in front of my computer for hours, the last thing I thought I wanted was to go for a walk. I'd come home, crash on the couch, and convince myself I was too tired. But one evening, after a particularly stressful day at work, my wife literally pushed me out the door. "Just go for a 10-minute walk," she said. I went reluctantly, but something happened. As I strolled through the neighborhood, I noticed the sky turning that perfect blend of pink and orange, felt the breeze on my face, and heard the soft rustling of leaves. And before I even got home, I felt lighter. The tension in my shoulders, gone. The post work brain fog, cleared. See, here's the thing. When we feel drained, we assume we need to sit still to recharge. But sometimes the best way to de stress isn't by collapsing on the couch, it's by gently moving your body. We spend all day hunched over desks, staring at screens, and then wonder why we feel stuck in a mental fog. And here's the truth, staying still keeps your stress bottled up. Movement, even a slow walk, helps release it. But most people skip it because they think it's too much effort. Spoiler, it's not. Now, my evening walk is something I look forward to. It's not a workout, it's a mini escape. And here's how to make it work for you. First of all, no fancy gym clothes, just whatever you are wearing. No step goals or fitness trackers. No pressure, just a casual, slow stroll. Now, when I go for the walk, some nights I'll pop in a podcast or a calming playlist. Other times, I just listen to the sound of birds, kids playing, or the breeze. And here's the magic, that 10-15 minutes outside, it acts like a reset button, helping me come back home calmer, more present, and actually ready to enjoy my evening. So try it out tonight. Head out just before sunset. Stroll without a destination and let your mind wander. You'll come back home feeling like you hit the refresh button on your entire mood. Now, after my evening walk, I usually feel much calmer, but there's still this lingering tension in my shoulder and back. Classic desk job problem, right? And that's when I discovered the power of simple stretching and yoga. Now, let me be clear, I'm not some Zen yoga master. In fact, the first time I tried yoga, I could barely touch my toes without feeling like I was about to pull something. But here's how it started. One evening after my walk, I sat down on living room floor and thought, let me just try some basic stretches. I found a quick 10-minute YouTube yoga video for beginners. Nothing fancy. I dimmed the lights, played some chill background music, and slowly worked through a few deep stretches. And man, the way my body released tension, I didn't even realize I was holding on to. It was a game changer. After the stretches, I sat cross-legged, closed my eyes for 5 minutes. No phone, no notifications, just silence. And in that moment, it was like my brain hit that sweet spot of the calm that it needed. See, here's the thing. Stress doesn't just live in your mind, it lives in your body. The headaches, the stiff shoulders, the restless nights, they are all signs that your body's been carrying the weight of your stress all day long. And while Netflix might numb your mind, it doesn't help your body release that tension. And that's where gentle stretching and yoga comes in. It's like telling your body, hey, you can relax now. But most people think, I'm not flexible enough. I don't have time for yoga classes. See, forget all that. You don't need to twist yourself into a pretzel or commit a full hour-long session. 5 or 10 minutes is all it takes. Now I make this as part of my evening routine. And here's what I do. I dim the lights, play calming music, focus on few deep stretches, hips, backs, shoulders, and end with 5 minutes of quiet breathing. And every single time, I finish feeling lighter, calmer, and way more grounded. And the bonus? It's not just about relaxing in the moment. This little routine has helped me sleep better, wake up less tense, and even improve my focus during the day. Now, if you have never tried it, tonight's the night. Roll out a yoga mat or even just use your carpet. Try a simple beginner's stretch video and feel how your body literally lets go of the day's stress. Trust me, your mind and your back will thank you. Now, right after my evening stretch, I usually feel more relaxed. But there's still one thing that brings me the kind of peace no yoga pose ever could, and that's spending time with my kids. You know that feeling when you come home after a long, chaotic day at work? Emails, deadlines, back to back meetings, and your mind is just whirlwind of office chaos. That's usually me, almost every evening. But then I hear that daddy's home. Suddenly, my kids come sprinting towards me, arms wide open, their face lit up like I'm the biggest rock star on the earth. And in that moment, every ounce of work stress vanishes. There's something magical about how kids live in the present. They don't care about the emails, deadlines, or tomorrow's to do list. Just this last week, I came home completely drained after back to back meetings. I sat down on the couch, exhausted, and my daughter plopped next to me with her coloring book and said, "Daddy, wanna color with me?" Now, for the second, I almost said, "Not right now, sweetheart." But instead, I picked up a brush, and for the next 15 minutes, I was completely lost in her world of pink unicorns and rainbow castles. But here's the thing, when we are stressed or mentally exhausted, we tend to isolate ourselves. We scroll through TikTok, we binge another mindless Netflix show. We sit in silence, zoning out. And sure, that might seem like unwinding, but it doesn't actually recharge you. See, studies show that interactive play with your kids or even just spending time with loved ones actually lowers your cortisol, the stress hormone, and boosts oxytocin, aka the love hormone, which naturally makes you feel more relaxed and happy. But most of us, we ignore that. We convince ourselves we need alone time to recharge, when sometimes all we really need is a few minutes of pure, genuine connection. See, now I make it a habit. Before I touch my phone, before I check emails, before I even think about dinner, I give my kids my undivided attention. Even if it's just building Legos for 15 minutes, drawing messy stick figures, or simply lying on the floor or bed and letting them tell me wild stories about superheroes and dinosaurs. And here's the wild part, it doesn't drain me, it actually refuels me. Their laughter, their random questions, their little inside jokes, it completely pulls me out of my own head and reminds me of what really matters. And if you don't have kids, call a close friend, FaceTime your parents, or just hang out with your pet. Seriously, even 5 minutes of petting your dog or cat can calm your nervous system. Just try it tonight. Put your phone away, sit with your kids or loved ones, and just be present. No agenda, no rushing, just connection. And trust me, you will end the night feeling way more recharged than another Netflix binge could ever give you. Now, after spending quality time with my kids, you'd think I'm fully relaxed. But sometimes my brain is still buzzing with leftover thoughts from the day. Emails I forgot to send, tasks I need to finish tomorrow, and random what if scenarios that keep looping in my head. And that's when I reach for something I never thought I'd actually enjoy, a book. Let me be real with you. I was never a big reader. In schools, reading felt like a chore. Even in my 20s, I thought of books as something you had to read because that would make me better at my job. But a couple of years ago, I hit this point where my mind was constantly overloaded. Work, side hustles, parenting, and life in general. I'd lie in bed scrolling through my phone for hours and wonder why I felt even more drained before falling asleep. But one evening, out of pure frustration, I picked up a book in my shelf someone gifted me years ago. I started reading it before bed. No pressure, no goal to finish it. And something unexpected happened. I actually relaxed. See, there was no dopamine spike like TikTok, no constant notifications, just me, a quiet room, and this book. See, here's the thing, we are wired to crave quick dopamine hits. That's why after work, scrolling social media or binge watching Netflix feels so easy. But the problem? It doesn't actually calm your mind, it overstimulates it. Reading, on the other hand, does the exact opposite. A study from the University of Sussex found that reading can reduce stress levels by up to 68%. But here's where most people go wrong. They treat reading like homework. They pick books they feel obligated to read. Business books, heavy non-fictional complicated classics. See, after a long work day, that's just more mental labor. See, the trick is to read for pure enjoyment. Pick a book that you would enjoy reading. It could be anything that you like and love reading. See, for me, now I keep a Kindle on my bedside table and it's become my go-to way to wind down before bed. See, there's something about flipping through pages with zero pressure that helps me transition from work mode to chill mode. And the best part, it's become my personal nighttime ritual. I curl up in bed, read a chapter or two, and it's like my brain just slows down. No more racing thoughts, no more stress spirals, and falling asleep, it's become 10x easier. So, here's what I want you to try tonight. Pick a book you have been meaning to read, but not one that feels like work. Turn your phone on silent, set a timer for 15 minutes, open the book, and just let yourself get lost in it. See how you feel afterward. And there you have it. 5 effortless ways to actually unwind after a hectic 9 to 5 work. But here's the thing, you don't have to do all of these every single day. This isn't about adding more to your to-do list. It's about giving yourself permission to slow down, even if it's just for 10 minutes. So here's my advice. Pick 1 or 2 ideas that resonate with you the most. Whether it's quiet evening walk, a cozy reading session, or simply listening to a podcast during your commute. And make it your go-to ritual. There's zero pressure here. The goal is to recharge, not to feel like you are ticking off another checklist. But if you're someone who's constantly asking, okay, I'm unwinding better now, but how do I actually start making time for my side hustle or personal projects after work without burning out? Then you are going to want to watch my next video. In that video, I break down a simple science-backed strategy that shows you how to unlock your most productive hours even if you are already feeling drained after work. And spoiler, it has nothing to do with waking up at 5 a.m. or chugging more coffee. Curious? You should be. Because once you figure this out, it's a total game changer for finding time for the stuff that actually matters. So go ahead, click right here and discover how you can finally balance unwinding and chasing your big goals together. And hey, if this video helped you in any way, don't forget to like, subscribe and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, unwind smart, and I'll see you in the next video.